Hello guys. So today we are going to learn about how to analyze chess games properly. So this is part 2. If you haven't seen the part 1, go see it immediately to understand the part 2. So now today we are going to learn about how to analyze chess games properly with the help of computer feedback for our moves. So let's see. For example, I took a game of mine. Let's go. I was playing black. So I played the Karakan as usual. These are all book moves because these were played by the top players. Usually played by the top players. Now knight to c3. This is the Karakan normal. Yeah, Karakan knight takes. Now this is the Karakan classical variation. Here you just go knight to g3. But my opponent went f3. Trying saying that this knight is being protected, but it is being protected. There are no mistakes with it, but with knight to g3 you attack this bishop at the same time, and also with f3 being played, your king has some weakness on this diagonal. You have to see that. So f3 and knight to f6. Now why is this excellent? I don't know. But after e6, I understand it because e6 means you have opportunity to develop all your minor pieces like this, like knight to f6, bishop to d6, not bishop to d6, bishop to e7, knight d7, like that. So that is why e6 is better than knight to f6. Yeah, knight to f6 is developing your piece, but it is just developing your one minor piece, so it is kinda bad than the e6 move. So here my opponent played bishop to d3. This is good. Now you might say, why bishop to d3 is bad? See, here this pawn was being attacked by my queen, but it is defended by their queen. Okay, now bishop to d3 cuts the communication between the queen and the pawn. So now I can take. Yeah, but if the pawn was being protected, like if the c pawn was in c3, I cannot take. Then bishop to d3 is a really good move, we can say. So in game also I took. Now he played c3. Okay, but c3 here is slightly worse than knight to e2. Why knight to e2 is better means it is developing a piece and also attacking my queen. It is better. But my opponent played c3. Okay, here I played queen to d5. Why is it good? See, while analyzing with computer feedback, you have to see what the computer tells. Here my computer tells that you should play knight to e2. You should understand why. If knight to e2 is being played, it attacks my queen, first thing. And what it does? It opens anything? No. But it develops the piece. So it is better. Okay? You should understand like that while analyzing with computer. c3. Now with the problem with queen to d5 is it is still vulnerable because with queen to e5, bishop to f4 is not possible to play. So that's why. Now queen to d5 and my opponent played c4, pushing the pawn again. Now this is very bad. You should not waste the opportunity to develop your pieces quickly. Okay, so my opponent played c4. Now I played queen to d4. Now this is a mistake. I should actually thought that That time I just played it fastly. Now knight to e2. Yes, he played it. The same move. Now I played queen to b6, which is a mistake. Because here queen to d6 does not put my queen into any danger. Even if knight to c5, you just go queen d6, and if knight back, you just trade off. Okay, so there is nothing bad with it. But I played queen to b6 because that is a mistake. Why? You have to understand. See, there's a common tactic. Oh, sorry, this is not the move. But here c5 attacks the queen, and you should also ask yourself: is there any good move after this? If see, okay, let's say my opponent plays something like this. I play this, and my opponent plays this. Sorry, and my opponent plays c5 here. Now it is actually bad. You should ask yourself: is there any piece that can capture me other than the queen? No, the bishop can capture, so that is why it is bad. I'm I'm just saying, okay? Now why c5 was here the better best move means it attacks the queen. Okay? It attacks the queen, and you are moving the queen like for I moved the queen many times in this game. That is why it is so much headache. I hate that. See, one, two, three. Now, if c6 was played, four. Yes, four times a game is a crime. Okay, he did not play c4. Instead, he took it. He saw that with this is this is a check, and I have also opened the diagonal for my bishop. Yes, we have to recapture, but not with the e pawn. Why? Because if we recapture with that, wait, why? Why I am not understanding? See, he is going to take, and you are going to take. Yes, this was played in the game, except I took with the e pawn, but here, wait. Here you get situation like this. You don't understand why you can't take with this. Yeah, I also felt the same in the while analyzing, because why I can't take? It shows as a miss actually. I don't know. Maybe if we take with that, they take. Yes, and let's see what the computer tells for us. Yes, that's the only way. I see that. I don't know why. But still, we recaptured. Now, they took. Now, this is a great move. But Queen f8 check also like kind of redeems my bishop. That's what I thought. But I don't know why. So my opponent played bishop to d2. This is a mistake. Again, I don't know why. Oh, it was better to move the king, because moving the king is better, because yeah, there are attacks coming to a king. But see, after this, bishop to e3, and your position looks, sorry, bishop to e3, sorry, and rook to e1 actually first. Now your position looks better. Okay, so that is why it is actually better to play move the king. But my opponent played bishop to d2, and I just took the free piece. Not actually free. Okay, now my opponent castled. Here I also didn't understand why this was inaccuracy. It said queen to b6, queen to b3. Yeah, it is better. Yeah, it is better. Okay. But actually inaccuracy is kind of too low if you see. So that is why computer sometimes rate these moves as too low, but for our elo level it is just like that. Okay, it should be like uh what can we say, like a good move we can say. Okay, castles, and I played bishop to c5 check using that free diagonal. Now I can develop my piece quickly. King to h1. Okay, best. Now here I just castle, and again this was not the best move because queen to c8 is better here because queen to b3 is coming, right? Now even if queen to b3, they're just developing, we can say. Now queen to b3 is an inaccuracy by the computer. We have to understand that why. It is why because you're wasting a move on the queen that literally does nothing except stay on a square. Okay, so that is why queen to c8 was better than castling here because it protects the b7 pawn. Not not saying that if you play queen to b3, I am going to play b3 b6 and all. It is not saying that. Okay, and here the computer shows b4. Now we can understand why this was inaccuracy. Okay, so let's see now the drawbacks from this gamer while analyzing with the computer. You have to ask yourself, what does it want? Okay, uh here in the game like castle. Actually, let's screw that. Let's go back. Okay. Okay. Now, for bishop to d3, why it is bad? We have to ask. And for drawbacks, I'm saying, okay, I'm giving an example. Okay, let's say you're just analyzing as white. This position, it is your game. You thought bishop to d3 is good. Okay, let's say your opponent didn't take the free pawn. You see the move and you instantly think, why is it good? Because now the computer, you have to ask, see the computer. Actually, here it is not, it is showing the instant move. But let's say I played e6 here, it will show. And you will be like going, okay, in the, okay, why? Okay, you will be like, bishop to d3 must be a good move. Why is it? Yeah, it is good move. Sorry. Bishop to d3 must be a best move, but why is it good move? Because, okay, I don't know whatever. And you see for black, they played e6. Okay, e6. Why is that excellent? Why? Because there is an arrow showing that you have to take. Okay, it does not show me because I actually took in the game, so that's why. That is what you need to see with engines. You have to understand why it is saying that a particular move is bad than the original move that we played in the game. Okay, and the second thing is, while analyzing with computer, you should not just look for the moves. Okay, if you're going to analyze it by yourself, but just seeing the computer for your your own happiness, because seeing there how many great moves is making you happy, yeah, you just see that and play. But you shouldn't always do this, because when you're doing, you see that, let's say you sacrificed a rook, but it is a blunder. You dig that deep, you you accidentally, by that you accidentally did not analyze by yourself. I'm not saying to do not analyze with computers. I'm saying analyze with computers. You should see what is the mistake that you have done, okay, and try to correct them. You don't always like, okay, this is the good move, this is the bad move. Okay, why is that bad? Oh, this again, I will not do that. You should not be like that. See, first you should you should see the mistake. The computer will tell you which is the right move. Okay, you see the mistake, then okay, you see, you know why you blended that, because you just think the now also you'll think that I'm just defending the knight. It is best. Why, you will ask. Now you know. You did not see this. Okay. Always ask for checks and capture checks, captures, threats for your opponent too. Okay. So that is the two main things that we learned from today's video. And thank you for watching this fully. Bye bye. And I forgot to tell you that we actually did an analyzing video on Opera game. Go watch that if you missed that, and make sure to watch the part 1 of this series, because it is also more important to watch. And thank you for watching, guys. Bye.